Shout out to Kevin Durant for being so transparent and bold when it comes to certain things that he stands on. And the media, they don't like him because he stands on certain things that's based in what the media, despises and disdains. Like he has his own mind, just like a Kyrie Irving. They may be clunky in certain ways in regards to their other beliefs, but at least they have sound mind. At least they understand that the media is just deceptive and they don't fall for it. And that's why, they don't like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. But they fed LeBron James and all these other superstars who conform. You know what I mean? Feel free to leave Kevin Durant out of all debates about the greatest players or scorer of all time. Discourse that almost always invokes the name of NBA icon Michael Jordan, as it should for good reason. Such was the case on Thanksgiving as ESPN's Max Kellerman and Kendrick Perkins had a spirited debate about whether Jordan or Durant was the best player, or the best scorer, Kendrick Perkins called Kevin Durant the best scorer of all time. Max Kellerman: Michael Jordan not only scored more than KD, won more than KD, but scored more officially than KD, and that's all true. But KD is about the closest to Michael Jordan than any other player when it comes to just pure scoring. Like, KD has a natural scoring gift that's just unparalleled when it comes to, him and other NBA players, like in this current time. The man can score with ease, like I've never seen before. Like his pull-up threes, his spot-up jumpers, his ability to get to the paint, the way he creates his shots, how tall he is, and how that's just an advantage over other players. It's like Kevin Durant got the package. It's just, the mentality is different. And that's where there's a difference between him and Jordan. It's just the mentality. Perkins, who often vociferously defends today's stars, took the stance that Durant is the best scorer of all time. And the reason why Perkins is saying that is because he don't like Jordan. Because he know that LeBron James is campaigning for people to believe that, LeBron James is better than Jordan. And Perkins is on LeBron James' payroll, and he's on LeBron James' nutsack all the time. So this is just Perkins' way of disrespecting Michael Jordan, because he know Michael Jordan the greatest scorer of all time. And some people may say Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I have no problem with that. The man is number one on the all-time scorer list, but Michael Jordan is the greatest scorer of all time because of his ability to change the paradigm in regards to how guards play. Because it was only meant for them to just be weapons before Michael Jordan came into the fold. Because it was always dominated by big men or men that were around 6'10", 6'9", so on and so forth. Michael Jordan came as a guard, 6'6", and he was scoring in ways where it was different than other guards. He was playing as if he was, 6'11", 6'10", like a Kevin Durant. But his ability to dominate and his efficiency and as far as his output when it comes to, how he's able to be prolific with the scoring, that really transcended a lot when it comes to, basketball and where it was going around the time. It's not, and it wasn't just the scoring. It was other things that made and solidified why Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time. But when it comes to Michael Jordan's output and how he scores and how effortless it is, and knowing that, when I need Jordan to come through, he gonna come through almost 9 times out of 10. You know what I mean? And that's what it was for Michael Jordan. And that's the difference. With Kevin Durant, it's just more so, yes, he's effortless. Yes, he can do it with ease. But sometimes there's a mental hurdle to where he probably need another star to really like put it in when it comes to scoring as well. Because Scottie Pippen wasn't so much so a scorer. He was just more of a defender, and he was just a piece to what Michael Jordan was creating on the basketball court. Not saying that Scottie Pippen couldn't score and that he wasn't putting up, numbers and nothing like that, but more so Kevin Durant, he needs that balance. That's why you got a Kyrie. That's why he has Steph. That's why he went to the Warriors. He needs to play in a system to where everybody eating. You feel what I'm saying? He doesn't want to be the only one to eat. If you really think about it, like he didn't want to play with Russell Westbrook. You know what I mean? Because it seemed as if he was the only one eating. Even though Russell Westbrook was getting his shots and damn near shooting more than him, he was the only one eating in regards to the output that was coming from Kevin Durant. Because if Russell Westbrook was to be, getting more points than Kevin Durant in certain games, they'll most likely lose. You know what I mean? Because of the efficiency level. You know what I mean? Kellerman, however, believes that Michael Jordan not only scored more than KD, won more than KD, but scored more efficiently than KD. Durant, however, wants nothing to do with it, After a Twitter user commented on the first take debate, insisting that Durant was a bigger offensive threat than Jordan, Durant voiced his take on who was a better scorer. MJ is 101, God level, unmatched, unparalleled, a pure master at this shit. I'm still watching his games to learn. Leave me out of it, please. And that's the humble route that Kevin Durant took because he understands what it is, man. Like don't try to discredit this man and what he's done. You feel what I'm saying? We know that Michael Jordan is the greatest scorer of all time. We know that Michael Jordan is unparalleled when it comes to just his aura and his presence on the basketball court. Especially when you watch The Last Dance and how he breaks that down within all them episodes. MJ is a 101, Durant wrote. God level, unmatched, unparalleled, a pure master. I'm still watching his games to learn. Leave me out of it, please. Whether an act of humility or what some suggest to be further evidence that he's not cut out for the pressure of the GOAT debate. How is there pressure in the GOAT debate when that's something that, that's based in inconclusiveness? You can't come to a certain conclusion on who's the greatest. Like, that's subjective. So how is there pressure? What Kevin Durant is just saying is it's really nothing you can really do about that. Just like what Kobe said and Michael Jordan said. They say, listen, at the end of the day, the conversation is going to be forever. There's really nothing you can do about that. Of course, behind closed doors, they believe that they're the best. But when it comes to the mass population and the public, there's nothing that you can really do about that. It's going to be an ongoing debate. So how is there pressure with an ongoing debate? There's no conclusion you come to. It's going to be the same arguments and the same facts that people throw in and the same falsehoods that people throw in. You know what I mean? Because they have certain agendas based off of who their favorite player is and who they like or who's being paid under the table when it comes to these guys that talk for LeBron James and try to spew out certain shit, certain rhetoric to discredit Michael Jordan. Like this dude, Kendrick Perkins. And this is what it say here. He's not cut out for the pressure of the GOAT debate. Only Durant will truly know. But it's not unusual for today's stars to have a reverent attitude towards Jordan. I mean, of course it's not unusual. They understand Michael Jordan. They understand what he was. With only one of the league's current stars, I'm talking about LeBron James, bold enough to claim that he's at least as good as his airness, and he's not. LeBron James, that 2011 NBA Finals basically nullified everything about him trying to be better than Michael Jordan. He's not better than Michael Jordan. He will never be better than Michael Jordan. LeBron James is really one-dimensional. When you really think about it, all LeBron does when it comes to scoring is just drive and take it to the hole. Of course, he could shoot mid-range and certain threes and all that, but his game is not diversified when it comes to his skill level in regards to his array of skills offensively. I'm not even talking about passing and all that. I'm just talking about his offensive skills. It's limited. LeBron James is kind of like a tank. You know what I mean? He's a big dude. He just bulldozes over everything. That's what he does. He can shoot. Yes, he can. He can, finesse and so on and so forth. But he don't post up. He don't really like spot up dribble like that. Spot up shoot like that. In certain instances to where you can tell that it's based off of him just getting his mojo. In certain instances he does. But LeBron James' game is really predicated on just being a power player. You know what I mean? That's what he is. He's a power player. A great player. One of the greatest of all time. Probably top 6, top 5. But he ain't Michael Jordan, man. He's just not, and that's just nonsense.